Okay, this video we're going to look at the Czechoslovakian CZ or VZ, depending on how you want to look at it, but CZ50, 1950, and CZ70. Now when you look these up on Wikipedia, you will only find CZ50, and it refers to the 70 as a basic modification. So we're going to do both guns in one video. So post-World War II, a lot of the communist bloc countries or Eastern European countries all manufactured a PPK or Walter clone, either PP or PPK, Walter style clone. And a lot of handguns were based on this design. Now the Czech one is a little bit different. But we'll take a quick glance and I'll explain to you why. A 32 automatic, blowback operated, 7-round mag. And these here are pretty neat. And there's no thing about this gun, there's no slide release on it. So this is the takedown button here. And on this side, you have the safety and the mag release. So you release the mag. I believe it's an 8-shot mag, and you would have to pull it to the rear to disengage the slide stop. Alright, you have a fixed front sight on the older model and a driftable rear sight where your safety is, and this is a double action, single action. And when you put the safety down, the red, red means dead, to fire. When you push this safety down, it will decock it and be in the safe position. Throw the lever up, which is quite easy with the thumb, and first shot, double action. Okay. Now, like I said, what's different about this gun, you got your mag release, safety, and you got this button here up front. This takes down differently than all the others, because like your Makarov, your Hungarian 93s, and the Polish P64, and I think the 83, all have the Walter style where you yank the trigger guard down and over, pull the slide back. Well, this is different. You have to depress this button down, then pull the slide back, and it will disengage. Okay, so it's a little bit different than the standard knockoffs, the clones. And again, the barrel is fixed to the frame. And there's a look at your mechanism. Very simple, very nice. And to reassemble it, you would just put it there, get it to start to slide back, depress that, and then there we go. Very simple, robust gun. Now the difference between the 50 and the 70, they don't really say. It's more or less, I think the grip is different. This button, you'll see, for the takedown is a different style. It's kind of flat, where that one's rounded. And again, fixed sights. I believe the rear sight is driftable. It does look it. And instead of just having a machined flat, the top of the slide has like a knurling on it to deflect the glare, where this is just a flat. You can see the tool marks on it. Also, the serrations on the slide, I believe, were made longer than that one. But basically, same functioning, mag release. And I believe these mags are interchangeable. They use the same magazines. And again, same action. You depress the slide, or the safety, and it decocks. And again, not too terrible. You can just flick it up with your thumb and away you go. So basic, simple design on these in 32 auto. Now these are issued to the police, I think the border guard, whatever. The military, I believe, used the CZ52, which was a larger pistol. But this is basically police issue, and it was exported. Okay, so these pistols were also made to export. So they sold these to other countries. But that's about it. And like I said, other than the change in the grips, see these wraparound grips, the frame is not solid. It's not a solid frame. So when they change the wraparound grips, you kind of change the frame contour by changing the grips. And this has a little bit deeper groove here to grasp a hold of as compared to the older one. Now this older one, when I bought it years ago, this thing worked without a hitch. This one was one of the recent imports I bought a few years ago, and it had some problems. The magazine was a little screwed up, and I had to replace the spring in it, and I forget what else. But the magazine was somewhat damaged, and I had to do a little work on it. But what we'll do now is we'll take a look at the markings and see the difference. Alright, so there we have the two pistols, and we'll kind of zoom in so we can get a good look at the scroll. Now this is the 50, and that's how the slide was marked. Okay, on there. And the difference with the 70 is you see they changed the 70. And this one has the date and a proof mark. So 1970 was made, and it has the CZ symbol on the slide. So you got a little bit more different stampings, and then another one there. Where this pistol is a little bit different in terms of the markings and a noticeable grip thing. So we'll flip them over and see. Okay, with the 50, there's a proof mark up there on the slide by the hammer, right down in there. There's some markings on the barrel. There's two proofs and a 05. And then there's the letters down here on the frame. And you can see up close the difference, that rounded button for the takedown. Where here, those markings are on the other side. You got serial numbers. There are no stamps on the barrel. Okay? All the markings are on the other side of the gun. And you notice how that's more, they changed it flattened. That is rounded. And like I said, there's a few more marks. Some of them were scratched up on the slide and barrel. But serial numbers stayed in the same place. And also on this gun, there is a mark or stamp on the pistol grip here. Where it isn't quite on the other one. Importation markings there. This one has the serial number electro-penned on it there. So, quite interesting. But I guess really there isn't that much of a difference. That's why, there's a different designation, but I can't remember exactly what all the exact changes that were made between the two different models. Now in closing, there were some people that reviewed these guns fairly recently, and it was the 70 model. Guy took it out, fired it with two types of ammo, and one type of ammo, he was having failures to feed. So he said that this gun was useless as a concealed carry or self-defense gun. Now this particular gun I bought all these years ago never had any problems, always worked fine. And when I did get the 70, there was some issues, like I said, the magazine spring or something. And you have to remember, this gun was made in 1970, so it's at least 50 years old, or 50 some years old. This one was probably made in the 60s. I didn't find a date on it. But this one can be 60 years old. Okay? Now, to buy guns that are this old, that were used by the police force and sold as surplus, to expect them to function flawlessly is kind of a real, it's not fair to the firearm itself. This gun never malfunctioned in all the years I had it, and I'll take them out and we'll shoot them side by side and we'll see. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. I haven't fired them in a few years. But, you know, to say that they're not good, and they do get beat up. This one had issues with the magazine. It only came with one mag, and the mag had the crap beat out of it, and I had to change the spring and something else in it. I had issues with the magazine, and that's just the way it goes with surplus guns, okay? But they're a neat gun. They're a nice size, weight. The 32, yeah, a lot of people hate. There's a lot better cartridges out there than the 32 automatic, but the 32 is better than nothing, okay? And they are some pretty interesting, well-made guns. So that's our overview on it, and maybe we'll go and have a range session and take these out and burn some ammo up and see how they work. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.